guys, Casey here with When the Comfortable Gets Uncomfortable, and I have Hannah Jo Green with me today. She is one of my dear friends, a fellow mother, a singer-songwriter, and artist of many things, and I cannot wait for you to hear her beautiful story of how she came out of the spiritual closet, started incorporating a lot of her beautiful hidden talents and gifts into her everyday life, and a lot of other things. So I am going to let Hannah take the mic and share with you guys, just give you a little bit about herself, what she's doing in life right now, and what led her to what she's doing in life right now.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Casey. I'm excited to be here.
Yes.
So to start with, I think it would be easier to start with where I am right now and kind of go backwards.
Love it.
So right now I've been focusing a lot of my energy on art and creativity. That came through with music, and the whole journey to becoming a musician has been a very spiritual one.
Yay.
So they went hand in hand in a lot of ways. As far as the music goes, it started in a way of like, a few years back, this is kind of why it goes in hand with spirituality, but a few years back, I went through a bunch of major life changes that were really difficult for me at the time to experience. And so I was like, what is going on? You know, like you live your whole life thinking that you're going to have this plan and this is how things are going to go. And I was like smacked in the face of absolutely not, girl.
It's always not hard life experiences that take us off of our own trajectory of what we think our life should be. And God, the universe, whatever, is like, oh no, this is what I've got planned for you, girl. This is what you doing. And you're like, what?
You're like, since whiplash. When? Yeah, it is whiplash. Like I was a person who was so logic oriented and so like, this is the only path and this is the way. And like, ever since a few years ago, my life has been this almost like this test of surrender and trust and like, listen to our guidance, like listen to God's guidance for you and try that instead and see how it goes. And sometimes that's been really hard because I have to let go of my control. And I'm a control freak, you know, but in a lot of ways, it's brought me back to my true self, back to my authentic self, which I had almost no idea how much I had stuffed it away trying to be this person that was supposed to fit into these boxes. And so that has been like painful and a beautiful thing to like rediscover myself and come back home to who I really am.
Yes, I love that. Come back home.
Yeah, like it that's what it feels like. Like I remember being a little girl and I told my mom, I'm like, one day when I'm older and I own my own house, I'm gonna like make a room and I'm gonna paint the whole wall like a mural, and I'm gonna have a piano in it and all my instruments, and there's gonna be mirrors in it so I can dance. And it's so funny because like I forgot her for so many years. Like I just was like, okay, I went to school to be a doctor/pharmacist. So that like took over me for many years. It was like, and I think my life path was supposed to go that way so I could see the contrast when I got older. But like I'm coming back to that girl now where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm literally painting a mural on my wall in my house. I have a piano. I go to the dance studio every day. And I thought that those parts of my life I had to let go of forever, you know, when I was like 18 and in college and thinking like, this is my path now. I have to be an adult now. I don't get to do this anymore. And so it's been a journey of faith to come back to music, to come back to art, because I'm like, wait, can I actually do this? Am I going to survive in this realm? And every time I've been shown like, this is where you're really supposed to be. You know, like that all of that didn't work out on purpose. And now you can use that as like this sort of stabilizer. Anytime I feel doubt, anytime I feel stress in like this version of my life, I'm like, well, that wasn't supposed to be there. So I can go back on that and be like, okay, I remember how it worked out when I was trying to control everything. I'm gonna let that go. So I'm trying to not get away from your original question.
No, you're good.
But I do feel like that encompassed some of it. Let me think here. Can you repeat the question?
Where you are right now?
Yeah.
And like what? Okay, so let's start with, since we're kind of talking about like your childhood and this like fun, artistic, carefree, like loving little girl that you were, you did these things that you thought you were supposed to do, and you were quickly reminded like, no, this isn't what you're doing. What was like the biggest like pivotal moment in your life that made you like, why did you quit pharmacy school?
That's where my head was going. I was like,
Okay.
that's probably the best first instinct that I could go to, because there have been a few,
Yeah.
but like that was probably the biggest one because I was so deeply ingrained in like, this is what I must do. So I had moved out here with my husband when we were very young, and I went to pharmacy school. I was like 19, which is crazy. But the reason I bring him up in the big move is because we were doing bodybuilding competitions at the time. So I got like really into health and wellness. Like I was like, I love holistic health. I love looking at this. But I'm in pharmacy school, which is like the polar opposite.
Yeah.
And I remember like my second week in pharmacy school, one of the doctors was talking to us and teaching us about, I can't remember what the name for it is, but there are pharmacists who create the drugs. Like it's like compounding, and they do that to put a new drug on the market and help people. But help people.
Right.
He literally said verbatim, like out loud, like the goal with making those drugs is to get people to stay on them forever, because that's how you make the most money. And my jaw dropped, and I was like, I've heard this, but like the fact that you are telling a young, impressionable group of people that this is what you're supposed to do. And I get like people have to make money, but it felt so wrong. I was like, this can't be right for me. Like I cannot be on this path. There is no way I'm going to go through this because society told me that it's what I should do or whatever. Like my parents were very much, love them. They're the greatest parents ever. And they're the reason that I'm still into art now, because they supported it so much as a kid. But they were very much like, take this path because it's safe and it will keep you protected, and you're good at math and science, so you should do it. But once I got to that point, I was like, man, I got all the way here and there's no way morally I can like live with this.
Yeah.
And there were options in pharmacy school to like help people manage off their medication, but I did work with a lot of people as a pharmacy technician for a few years. And there's a lot of behavior change therapy that has to go into that. And people need their own intrinsic motivation. Yeah. So for me, I was like, what can I do that's more aligned? Because in the medical industry, I wasn't really able to find that clientele, you know? So then I got into personal training and started like holistic health from that point. Okay. And that was like a big major change. Okay. For even just choosing to do something that I wasn't supposed to do. Yeah. But that felt more aligned to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. So you became a bodybuilder, got super into like nutrition, super into coaching people, because you used to be a coach, right? Bodybuilding, like a fitness coach and all that stuff.
Yeah, fitness and nutrition.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know there's like one or two other like huge, like I feel like you've had like you get redirected onto this one path and then you go that way, and then you're redirected into another path, and then you're redirected into another path, because even since I've known you, I feel like I've seen like different versions of you, and I've only known you for what, like not even 2 years?
Yeah, not even.
Year and a half or something like that. And I just love and I admire your story, because you have been dealt with so many like roadblocks, but you keep finding the beauty in it all. So what was the other, like I know there's another like roadblock, like you were super into this one thing, thought that was like going to be the end all.
Yeah.
And then
I've forgotten about end all at this point.
Life threw you another curve.
Yes. So that you're, like you said, like that is almost the story of my life. And I used to be really annoyed by it because I control freak. I was like, I want to have my path. I want to feel safe on this one path.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was a very successful personal trainer for a while. I did it like both online and in person. And that was a really cool career. It was very fulfilling, but there was a point where I was starting to feel like maybe it wasn't super fulfilling. And then all these things happened back to back that sort of made it make sense. So I had like my biggest month as a personal trainer, and it was February 2020. And I was like, oh my God, I'm killing it. I'm doing it. This is happening. Like, this is my career.
Insert COVID.
Insert, literally. And like, I'm not fucking kidding. Like 2 weeks, and the whole thing shut down. The gym shut down. Everything shut down. Restaurants, all the things. And I was like, oh my God, like I left pharmacy. Like that was my safe career. And I got into this, and now I'm losing this. Yeah. And I was so stressed out. Like I remember like getting a job at Instacart and like rushing to all these like things that I could try to do to make money, because I was so stressed out. Like I'm like, what am I going to do? How are we going to pay our bills? And then right shortly after that, I would say like about a month, I'm going to bring some of the spirituality into this. Yeah. My mom calls me and she's like, hey, super weird. I had a dream that I was pregnant, and it was like a little girl. She had blue eyes. And I was like, weird. Must be somebody else. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was prepping for a bodybuilding show. Like, granted, it was COVID, but the shows were still like they were thinking they would still happen.
Mhm.
So I was like shredded, like I had like abs, super muscular, like you would not know I was pregnant.
Mhm.
And I had hormone issues, so the lack of period type thing, like that was
Mhm.
pretty normal for me.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, whatever, like not thinking anything of it. My stomach had been hurting. There had been like little weird things that were happening around me. Like I was painting my apartment, and the apartment complex brought us paint in formula cans. Like there was like all these little signs
Oh
that were
my
like trying to
gosh.
like get my attention, but I just like wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
And so then she calls me and she says that, and I was like, no way, but my stomach does kind of hurt. Let me just go take a test. And so then I take the test. It's super freaking positive. And I go in to find out, and they're like, you are like somewhere between 4 and 6 months pregnant. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, it had to be 2 weeks. Like, I'm not showing nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like people have really bad first trimesters. I had
Yeah.
no idea. Like, it was just
Yeah.
right over my body.
And you're like itty bitty.
Yeah.
You hear about these stories. I'm like, I didn't know I was pregnant. And like the body habitus of some of these women, that's like, of course they didn't know they were pregnant, like, you know, or whatever. And like, you can like justify that. But like, you're like not an ounce of fat on you, super tiny, muscular, and 4 to 6 months pregnant.
Like you would never know. I like have pictures from like the day-ish I found out, somewhere around there, and I still had like abs.
That is wild.
It was wild to me. Well, and part of it, I think, because my coach and I were like laughing about it after I found out I was pregnant, I was dealing with my bodybuilding coach and sending him pictures, and I was like, dude, I just can't lose weight. Like I was like super shredded, but like I couldn't get any farther. And I would all day long, I would eat super healthy. And at the end of the day, I would like scarf food. Like I was so freaking hungry. And then the next day I would get up and go for like a 5-mile hike. I was like, I got to burn all that off. I got this competition coming up.
Oh my God.
So it was like this vicious cycle that was probably for like a month, like when it started getting longer in the pregnancy.
Second trimester.
Yeah, it was in my second trimester for sure. And I'm like, I'm starving. What's happening? Where'd my self-control go? And then I found out I was pregnant. So as soon as I found out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat more. And I like popped. And then I could see it. But it was like the lack of food, I think, was like causing an issue.
Yeah.
And little side note, going back to my mom saying like the little girl with blue eyes, it's cool because my son has like the brightest blue eyes. So it was like, to me, I was like, did you get to like see him a little bit in that dream in a way, you know, like I don't know, but it was cool. It was sweet.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then you're also a singer-songwriter.
Yes.
And that is a not new dream that you've been following. It's something that's like been on your heart, but it recently just kind of like really landed, and you were like, I'm pursuing this. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your singing songwriting a little bit, because your songs are super beautiful and very personal about some of your life and struggles and, you know, triumphs and all the things. So how did you go from, okay, you had your son, and then whatever led you into like your singing and stuff?
Yeah. So there's a little piece I'm going to add in that kind of happened before music. And I would say it was a pretty pivotal part of why I actually had the stones to pursue music.
Okay.
So when my son was born, I was in like that career change, and the place that my husband worked for is like good friends of ours. They offered to get me my real estate license, to be like their in-house realtor. And it's funny because we like never did any of that, but they got me my real estate license. And so I did that career as a new mom for a little while before I got into music. And that was a great career. It taught me so much about myself that I did not know. And it was hard, and it was challenging, and it was a lot of discipline, especially with a newborn. Like I wouldn't recommend it. But it was, you know, I needed that lesson like so badly. And it was kind of this like final push through like that super hyper logical, super hustle culture. Like I needed to go to that extreme with it, because I was doing like a ridiculous amount of transactions, just for like who I was as a person, like having a new baby and stuff like that. But it showed me like that I could be successful, and that there was like sort of this template for my success, which I see it as like my success in music. Like I know how to market myself now. I know what type of discipline it would take to do that, and if it's worth it to me.
Right.
But I wanted to take that energy and put it towards something I cared about. So at the end of my real estate career, I could feel, I was like, this is not good for me. This is not aligned for me on so many levels. I was burning out all the time. I was a big people pleaser when I worked in that industry. And so that was like tearing me apart. Like I had to learn a lot of boundaries and a lot of like saying no. So at the end of that career and like right before I found music, there was like this probably 6-month period where I was just like super lost. Like I'm like, I'm quitting this job. I don't know where I'm going to go. I was like, this was crazy. I went into college for 6 months because I was like, maybe I need to go back to school and be a doctor again. Like, so I went back to school for neuroscience, which was like crazy, but I'm glad I did because I, again, learned a lot. And then took like a break period. My therapist was like, you need to chill out. Like, you just need to like not do and just be in silence. And so it was through that time that I kind of learned like, I need to be more like expression. Like I need to be able to express myself better because I had like completely lost my voice. Like I would spiritually looking at it. It's funny because I would literally lose my voice for 2 weeks at a time. Like I couldn't talk. I would have to like write on whiteboards to people and I would talk like this all the time. Like I just didn't have my power in my voice. So music like really brought that back and was like kind of spiritually enlightening in that way. My therapist gave me this book called Yoga Nidra, Daring to Rest. And so it like inadvertently got me into meditating. And I had like all of these spiritual experiences. And through that, they were kind of like, try music, try expressing yourself, try acting classes, like get back into dance. And so I started getting all of these like intuitive hits to do that. And the biggest thing with music was like one night I had been thinking, I was like, well, what if I just like wrote pretty piano music and put it on Spotify or like sold it to somebody else, you know? And I was laying in bed and I heard this song that has never been produced. It's not one of mine that I ever did, but it wasn't a real song. Like it was like they were giving me the song to go write it. And I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. And like got up out of bed and like wrote the song and just like put it down. And I was like, well, maybe I'll give it away to somebody one day. And then over the course of time, they were like, try to sing it. Like go get vocal lessons. Like we need you to be the one to be giving this message. And I was like, no.
I just got chills.
Like,
love that.
Yeah, it was really cool and very scary because I was like, no fucking way. Like I was like, I will give this to somebody else to go do that. But as time went on, I got like more comfortable and more confident. And I was like, you know, my first 6 songs have been wonderful. And I think they were a really great learning experience for like the physical understanding of how it happens. But now that I've solidified into my spirituality and music, I really want to bring music through that helps like heal people. Because music is healing. Like when we're all having a bad day, what do we turn to? Music. So I really want to bring through music that like hits those parts of us that we all experience and help people like transmute out of it and see themselves in a more empowering lens. And you know, like I don't want to put too much pressure on the music to do that so that it's not like, you know, cringy or weird or whatever. But like, but I do think that some of the songs I did write, like I Don't Want It is one of them where I feel like that really helps women who have a hard time saying no and don't know how to stand up for themselves. And like, that was like a song that really helped me pull that out of myself and help other people do the same thing. It was big on self-worth.
Oh, I love that. So through this whole process and like you've had a lot of spiritual experiences, you've learned to express yourself in many different ways. I love seeing this version of you, like the stuff that you share on Instagram, on TikTok. Like you have got some wisdom in you too. Like the things that you share is not things that you like would just find like in a book or on a billboard or whatever. Like you share like straight wisdom. And I feel like sometimes when I watch your TikToks and stuff about the advice and whatnot that you're giving people, I'm like, she's straight channeling like her like stuff that you know from like a past life. Like it's so cool because I really believe that like in this lifetime there's so many of us here that are meant to bring our gifts from every lifetime that we've ever lived. And it's like a culmination of all of it, like coming together because I mean, we kind of have to, where we're at in the world right now, this day and age, the like energetic vibration of the world, like it needs to be, it's struggling and it needs to be raised. And the only way that's going to happen is if people like you are bringing these high vibrational, like beautiful things into the world and like having conversations about it and like enlightening people about what is really their options for how they're going to live their life. Like I mean, I've told this story before, but like, I'm also one of those, I was just like Hannah, where I checked off all these boxes in my life and I was like, okay, when's the happiness come? And it's
Yeah.
like, I am not happy. What do we need to do about it? And
This
so we
didn't work.
completely deconstruct everything of what we thought we knew or the way we thought it was supposed to be for like God to really show us, hey, these are your options. And this is way better than what you even had planned.
Every time.
But we don't know until we take that step of trust, that leap of faith.
Because it's scary. Like that deconstruction period,
scary.
You're like, oh my God, like you're clinging to everything you knew.
And it's uncomfortable because we worked so hard to get to those points in our life. Like you don't just get yourself into pharmacy school for nothing. Like,
yeah,
that
right?
shit's hard.
Like you work hard for that shit.
Yes.
like that was no easy feat.
Money. But like we worked so hard to become the version of ourselves that we thought was going to make so many other people happy.
Yeah.
And but it didn't make ourselves happy.
And that's like,
it tore us apart.
That's self-destruction and self-abandonment and self-betrayal, which I've learned a lot about in the last few years. And it's like I think a lot of us are told that if you follow that path and you make everyone happy, not only will you be happy, but like you're doing your duty for the world.
Yeah.
And actually, that's like almost so far off.
So far.
Like you need to be who you are.
Yeah.
1000%. And that is your duty to this world. That is the light you bring to this world. When you are people pleasing, you are enabling everybody to not live up to themselves.
Exactly.
Including yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Like you have to, people like you and I that are walking in our full on truth and authenticity and just like zero fucks given about what anyone else thinks. Like to a point, you have to care a little bit, right?
Right.
But like ultimately, we have to be happy when we lay our heads down on our pillow at night. Are we happy with what we did for ourselves, for our family, and the people closest to us and this world?
Yep.
Like if we died tomorrow, are we going to be happy with the stamp that we've left on this place? And it's like, that's fully how I live every day of my life. It's like, am I going to be happy with who and what I brought to the world?
Yeah.
Every single day.
Showing up as the person that I want to be. And like you said, like the stamp you leave on the world, like, is that really your true energetic stamp?
Exactly.
Or are you making it up to fit in or to make your parents happy or whatever?
And when we walk in that truth and that light of what who we really truly are at our like most authentic essence, we're giving everyone else their permission to like do it too. And like walk in that, like, and they're like I feel like recently I've had a lot of people reach out to me and it's like I feel like all the inner work that I've done is like finally really showing to others, because I've had people be like, how can you just not care? Like I love what I'm seeing, but like how are you able to do this? And I'm like, dude, you just got to do it.
It's like a muscle.
It is. Like it ain't easy.
It's not easy.
It's not. Like when I first started really walking in this path, I'm human too. Like I literally would think like, oh my gosh, what are these people going to think? What is my family going to think? Am I going to lose friends? Like, yeah, everybody's probably going to think not so good things, and you are going to lose friends, but you're not losing them. They're just kind of falling away from your vibrational frequency. Yeah. And but you're also kind of challenging them to like level up too.
Yeah.
If they want to be a part of your life. Yeah. And being who you are. And speaking of being who you are, Hannah just recently joined my Breath to Alchemy Reiki portion of my breathwork, Reiki and breathwork certification program. And I'm so excited to see what opens up for you with this, because we've been friends and we talk about, all the crazy things that happen in our lives. And when you're open to it and you're kind of put in this frequency of being open to the magic and the synchronicities that just happen. And like, sometimes it's like, is this real? Like, is this really real? And it's like, yes, yes, it is. Like, just don't question it. Just keep on going. But you've had a lot of things kind of like open up for you recently. And I'm excited to see you being on in my Reiki program, like what else is going to open up for you. But is there any like things that have really started to show themselves to you and you're like, oh my gosh, like, is this like for instance, like when I started like seeing things and like started doing oracle readings, and then like that led into my life insight readings, like, is there anything that has really, since you've fully dove into just surrendering and like being in this world of like possibilities just being presented to you and like opportunities being presented to you on how you're going to bring your art into the world and it bringing like financial stability and like things like that and like living off of your gifts essentially. Is there anything that's kind of opened up for you that you want to speak about or share?
Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting. Like, I'm going to start with just the spirituality piece of that before I go into living off of the art. But like, it's been interesting because I've always kind of been a spiritual person. And you and I have talked about this before, where like in your childhood, like you have structures around you that kind of make you doubt your gifts and stuff like that. So there was a while where I just like didn't believe in anything. That was the worst period of my life for sure. But I think that all happened on purpose and it reopened everything back up later. And then now, like, so I've probably been meditating through that yoga nidra I mentioned earlier for a little over 2 years every single day. Like I've maybe missed like 10 days in the last 2 years.
Okay.
It's like top priority. Like I work out and I do that every single day.
I love that.
And that through those gifts, I started getting like the clairvoyance, clairaudience, tons of that. I mean, as a musician, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's always been there. And some of the other ones, like recently getting like that clear knowing and clear feeling, which has been really cool. One thing that will happen that my mom kind of got it with my pregnancy is that like I'll get dreams of pregnancies, deaths, which is a little interesting, precognitive like things, like I'll see things happen for myself or people that I'm closely related to before it happens. Which
okay, like has, premonitions.
Yeah, premonitions. And some of it is like the weirdest things. Like there was one day, I feel like I have to tell this story because it was so weird.
Yeah.
I had this really weird dream, and you actually told me I should write down my dreams. I'm so grateful because it's what made me recognize this. Okay. I had this weird dream that I was like trying to open a cardboard box with a wrench, and I was like banging on it. I'm like, that was the weirdest dream ever. But I wrote it down. And I was like, I'll come back to that later. And not even like 5 hours later in the day, we get a box shipped to our house, and my son had like a toy in it that he really wanted out. And we're in the garage, and I'm like, I don't have a scissor in here. So I reach over really fast and I grab a wrench and start banging on the cardboard. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, oh my God, like I saw this in my dream 4 hours ago. Like, and that was like the first time where I was like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
Felt like a That's So Raven moment.
Oh my gosh.
And then from that point on, I started like paying a lot closer attention. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then like, so sometimes it will happen with people I'm connected to or just like situations, and none of like, it doesn't always have like some crazy meaning. Like I mentioned birth and death, but sometimes it's just like what we're eating for dinner that night. Like I will somehow know in advance,
Oh, can I have those dreams, please? Planning dinner.
It's very cool. It can be a little tough though, because sometimes I feel like I can see things and you can't always explain that, to people. So it's been a process of learning how to like deal with knowing that stuff. But that's been really cool. And then as far as that goes with living off of art, actually I was super, super hyper connected to living off of art when I started with the music because of that logical side of me where I'm like, I have to make this into a way that I can make money. Like there's no other option.
Yeah.
But when we did womb healing earlier this year with Salwa, she had given me this like information and guide that I need to detach my creativity from survival. And not associate them together so much. Like the money and the creativity need to be one. And at first I was like, excuse me, like I spent this whole time
I'm doing this for free.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Like, this is what I've been thinking forever. But I'm so grateful she told me that.
Yeah,
because like not even a couple months after that, I started painting for fun. I was like, okay, this is completely detached from survival. Like I'm just doing this for fun. And it has opened like all of this wisdom, like you mentioned earlier, by the way. Like as I'm painting, I'll like get a hit of like, oh, you need to know this and share it. Like this is information that is helping you, helping other people. And so like I'll get it through there. And so I'm seeing that like my creativity is a gift. It's not necessarily meant to be like pimped out for money. Granted, I do believe that will be a part of it over time, like 100%. But I'm learning to like detach the stress from that.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna say it probably makes it way less stressful.
Yeah,
when you're creating and birthing these creations into life from a space of just being like totally in your like highest power, your highest vibration, you're allowed to like do it in a way less like stress-free like and energy and environment. So then you're like open to the possibilities of like, so like not being so perfect, right?
Yes,
and
that's
like
exactly
not
it.
like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, and you're just like in your most divine feminine essence, and you're just creating.
Yes.
And then like sometimes like those creations, you might not mean to make money from it, but like what if in a year one of your songs pops off and you become a signed singer-songwriter from like a super famous well-known album or label.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly kind of how I feel. I'm like, if I take the pressure off of it, I can make what I need to make, what other people need me to make and heal from, without this pressure of like it needs to be perfect. Like when I was first in it, I'm like, okay, there's a pattern to this. Like there's a thing that like hits our dopamine in our brains if you write a certain template a certain way. And that's great, and it does make a hit for sure, but it's like, are you doing it with the right intention though?
Exactly.
You know, and
it's
so
all about intention.
I know the template for it now, which is great, but I want to make sure I am doing it from a place of not like, let me just make this hit so I can make money.
Yeah.
Let me like do this the right way. Let me help people with this gift like I've been given it. Let me do the right thing with it. Especially because in some of my previous jobs, like I felt that my morality was questioned, you know, like with the pharmacy thing. I'm like, oh, it's not aligned. I don't want to redo that with this career. I'm like, okay, let's be done with that part of life. Let's do this the right way.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really glad you told me that, because now I'm disconnecting it a little bit, which is scary.
That was such a powerful thing for her to tell you too. What was it again? Detach your
I'm trying to think of exactly
creations from making money.
Yeah.
Or
she said detach. Maybe she said it the other way, but it's the same meaning. Detach survival from creativity.
Survival from creativity.
Like you're putting so much pressure on it to like have it be your survival. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Such a good perspective.
How have you been able to do that actually though? Because like you can talk the talk, but like actually implementing that, like how have you been able to actually implement that and physically be able to create from a space of complete detachment from it bringing you in financial abundance?
I think, you know, that's a good point. I will say two things. So all of the 6 songs were recorded before she told me that.
Okay.
So like that first round of creation was there.
Okay.
Second round, now that she's told me that, I've been exploring creativity in other ways.
Okay.
Cooking, decorating my house, like painting, doing other things outside of music, because that one is like attached to survival in my brain a little bit because I've done it that way. But I'm trying to unlearn that. Like right now, as I'm writing, I'm like, don't try to write a puppet. Don't try to write anything like a certain way. Just go write. Just go see what comes out. And like also, I would say that actually, I'm really glad you asked this. There is a level of safety that you have to feel when you're creating to do that. When I first started doing yoga nidra, they have you like pick a intention before you start, and then you do like a body scan with it and you continue it. For months, my mantra was, I am safe. I felt incredibly unsafe in this world, which is why I clung to so many things that were survival instincts, like logical jobs and things like that. So like I had to learn a sense of safety in my body there. But this is like another version of that. Like I'm like expanding on that. How can I continue my safety in a job that's not logical, in a way that I can't guarantee how I'm going to get paid or when it's going to show up, anything like that. And so like I've been fostering like a lot of trust and a lot of senses of safety. And I'm like, I'm trying to remind myself like the money can come from anywhere. It doesn't have to come through creativity, through any space. There are so many opportunities if you don't close your mind to them. So I try to like stay open-minded to like this, like there are so many ways this could happen. It doesn't have to be through one outlet. And trying to not focus on it only coming through creations. But like you said, like I'm like, I think if you just get into that flow state and you make the right thing, like it will find its home in this world and it'll be right. So I know that will eventually happen. I just have to like let it. And not sit there like we talked about earlier and stare at it. And be like, how is this going to work? I need to not worry about the how. You know, which is really, really
so hard.
Easy to say out loud. It's really, really hard to put in practice.
It is.
And I guess if I could add to that, like in practice, because that's kind of what you asked, I try to divert my focus to other areas of my life. Like I look at my life as a set of pillars. I'm like, I have my career, but I also have friends and family and myself and, you know, nature, like all these different things. So I will ground into all of those other different things if I'm feeling too much anxiety with my creations. I'm like, where else can I put my attention for a little bit?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. Speaking of creations finding their place, I don't know why, but this question keeps popping in my brain. That one song that you were given and that you wrote, is that a song that's one of your singles that you've debuted yet? No.
And
okay.
It hasn't been produced or anything like that.
Okay.
I think eventually I would do it.
Okay. You're holding it safe for something else?
No, I don't know. So, you know, like how you said earlier, like I'm constantly diverting into something new. The thing for it with me is like it came up, it's kind of a genre that I don't know that I would want to make music in long term. So I think that's why I kind of veered away from it. I'm like, let me see what else comes out. And so then I kept writing. And it's funny, I always wanted to do pop because I'm a dancer. So I'm like, that would be so fun. But everything came out country. And I'm from North Dakota, so it makes sense. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to follow this path first. That's where the majority of it came from. And even like recording was a very spiritual, like how it all worked out was crazy and super cool. And so I'm like, okay, that was supposed to be my beginning of this. And I may stay in that genre for a while. This was kind of like soft pop affirmation almost style music. Jason Mrazzi. I'm trying to even like think. Like, and I don't write a lot like that now. But I think that there will probably be a time and place where I make music like that. It's just maybe not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it when you do.
Thanks.
Awesome. Hannah, is there anything else that you like, any words of wisdom, advice, like anything else you want to give my listeners today that is just kind of like on your heart with sharing your story, or just anything at all that you feel is pertinent for people to know either about you or just in general?
Yeah, let's see, there's a couple things. As far as like about me goes, you can find me on Instagram and all that fun stuff. Instagram and TikTok, and we'll share that later. But I post a lot of little wisdom bits, like I mentioned earlier, that I get just like on my stories and stuff like that, because it's information that I know will help people. And this is actually where I was going to go with it, speaking to what you said earlier, where you're like, people will reach out and be like, how do you not care what people think about you or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
In the last few weeks, particularly, I think like, it's funny that it was right before this podcast. I've had like 3 or 4 different people recently be like, hey, would you ever like be a life coach, or like this information is so great, like you should put it out more, kind of a thing. And how do you not care what people think about you? That was a big one. And I think, like we said, it's like a muscle, it's like learning, but I really think like getting to know yourself is so important. Not yourself in relationship to anybody else. Like, who are you if no one else exists?
And who are you through your own lens, not other people's lenses.
Right. Like
is important.
That part is the most important. It's like you need to know who you are without every other person's lens of you. And when we're kids, I feel like we're sponges. We take in so much from the world around us and everybody's perceptions of us. And like I really had to work on like, what is my perception of me? Who do I know myself to be deep down? Even if that completely disregards what anybody else thinks, especially people that really care about me, because you love them, you want to make them happy, but I'm like, I still need to choose myself here. So that would be like a big piece of advice. Like that is like the wherewithal of where everything I've done in the last few years has come from, is getting to know myself and being authentic. So I would definitely suggest that. I do plan on making a little bit more content about like spirituality and some of these topics that we've talked about on my own, just like on YouTube, getting more deep into like the intricacies of like, how did I face this problem and deal with it and transmute it into something better, into a higher perspective? Where did that wisdom come from? So you guys keep an eye out for that. And then as far as music goes, I have 4 songs out, 2 more coming. And I plan to make more next year. So if you like country music, check it out.
It's like country pop with a little bit like more pop. Like I feel like you put your own, but I also feel like, what are genres anymore?
Honestly,
like why do you have to? It's almost like putting yourself into this niche of like specific things, and I'm like, I don't want to put myself in a niche. I want to put myself in a box. I'm just gonna like share whatever I want. But like I feel like that's what you're doing with your music. Like for you to say like, I'm doing this genre, or this is how this music turned out, like I feel like it's Hannah Jo. It's not like really a genre. It's great. experiences that you have put into like beautiful words and choruses and with, you know, music tied to it. And I just think it's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you.
You're the best.
Thank you. You are. So please go follow Hannah Jo on Spotify.
Yes. Apple Music, wherever you stream from, wherever you feel the best about. Like, I'm on everything.
YouTube, so. Spotify, Apple. I don't know if there is any others. Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. And then all socials, TikTok and Instagram as well, because you got to listen for her tidbits of wisdom, her TikToks, and her sporadic advice that she shares is really beautiful. And it's like, I know there's been a lot of things I've heard that you've shared. I'm just like, holy shit. Yep. Okay. That was for me. Thank you.
I love that. I'm so glad to hear that. Because sometimes I'm like, is anybody going to care? Am I like, you know?
I love it.
But
I love it.
You're right. And I do think, like you said earlier, I know we're almost done, but I want to add it in. Like, good. Yes, some of it's from my life experience, but also like I think about it, like when I was a little girl, I had thoughts like that. And I remember people being like, what are you talking about?
I know.
Like, that's too, what are you thinking? And I, you know, so it's just like my brain works like that, and it's a channel. And if I'm telling you guys that, it's because somebody needs to hear it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It always, if we're ever called to share something, it's because I truly believe like it's not just for us. It's for other people to hear too. And words of inspiration can go so far.
Yeah.
So, and we need more bright lights like you, Hannah.
And you.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening in today. Please go follow Hannah, give her a listen on her music, and her tidbits of wisdom. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Love you.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week with When the Comfortable Gets Uncomfortable.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.